Good morning, Devils fans. It is a fresh new week here, and hopefully some good news coming out of practice today as we go ahead tomorrow and play at 8 o'clock in Winnipeg against the Jets. So obviously I will save the preview of that matchup for tomorrow morning's episode. Instead, today I wanted to take some time to look at how are the Devils faring across the league when compared to other teams within the East specifically. Obviously Metro included along with that, and just kind of take a temperature check, gauge how exactly is the team doing. Not even 15 games into the season yet, where Devils have only played 13. A lot of other teams have played 15. So we're a little over halfway to that coveted 20 game mark that I was kind of talking about right at season opening, of where you can really start gauging. So being a little bit past that halfway point, and with a little bit of a lull in this ridiculous scheduling that we have to start the year here as the Devils. Thought this was a good day, time, and episode to take to do this. So, going to go fairly holistic view here, dig into the numbers a little bit, give my thoughts beyond just that, and just kind of see where this conversation takes us. So, if you woke up yesterday, watched my video, you know we ended up outside of a playoff position for the first time really this season. Obviously, still very early on. We haven't hit that magical Thanksgiving Day yet. But technically, we are not in a playoff spot right now. But even more technically, we are. So what do I mean by that? We are fourth in the Metro overall right now, behind the Rangers, obviously, who have had a torrid start to the season, Carolina, who's playing well but also struggling a bit, and the Washington Capitals, who have been a bit unexpected in how well they've been playing. Personal opinion, they keep playing Lindgren. They're probably going to end up a wild card team this year, surprisingly. But this is not a Washington Capitals daily show. So, how about the East as a whole? We are currently 8th in the East by points percentage. I focus on that because, kind of like in COVID year, if the NHL season, for whatever reason, stopped right now, they would go by point percentage, not actual points. So with that in mind, we actually are sitting in the second wild card position by points percentage. By actual points, we are behind the Habs and Lightning, who are a point up on us, but have 2 more games played each. So if we were to go 0-2-0 over the next 2, they technically would still be ahead of us. But even 1 overtime loss in there or a single win, we move ahead of them securely in a playoff spot. So that's, again, the very high level view. So what's our actual play on the ice looking like? Well, across the board, it's really good in a lot of categories, and then really not good in the ones that kind of matter in the actual putting pucks in net or preventing them from going in your net spot. So we talk about these figures a lot on this channel. Ones I focus on generally are Corsi, Fenwick, expected goals for percentage, scoring chances for, and then high danger chances for, both of those percentage-wise as well. Quick overview there. Corsi and Fenwick, the only difference is blocked versus unblocked shots, but generally speaking, it's how many times are you getting a puck towards the net. Scoring chances for is fairly straightforward. It takes all those shots and then some into low danger, medium danger, and high danger chances. How likely is that shot to actually be a goal? Just looking at the, every shot that's basically ever happened from that spot and the setup beforehand, how likely is that to go in? That's how you determine low, medium, and high danger chances. And then high danger obviously just focuses on the high danger ones, and then expected goals for percentage is putting an actual, instead of it just being this was low, this was medium, this is high, it gives an actual value to each of those. You add those up cumulatively over a game, over a season, and what does your for number look like? What does your against number look like? And then what is your percentage based on that? So, Corsi for, probably the stat people can most easily associate with. What are your shot attempts looking like? How much are you controlling play? We are 6th in the league there, 2nd in the East, only behind Carolina, who are basically the Corsi gods. You can say they game the system a little bit with how they play the game, but Eastern Conference Final Championship, multiple seasons now, considered one of the best teams in the league. Cup favorites out of the East, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, they make game the analytics system a bit with this category, but they're still a very good team. They're the only team in the East to be in a better spot than us in this category. We're 7th in the league in Fenwick. Only teams ahead of us in the East there are Carolina and Florida. 2 very high, heavy forechecking grinded out type teams. We're this high flying offense, and we are still generating so many chances. It's not like one of those transition teams off the rush scores, even though that is our bread and butter, that just kind of takes the buck from our end, goes the other way, tries to get a shot or two off a rebound. They get the puck back, and then they're cycling us in our zone for a bit, and then yada yada. No, we actually control a lot of play in the other end of the ice while also getting those chances off the rush as well. Expected goals for percentage is actually one of the worst ones we're in, and 8th in the league, still 8th in the league, and 3rd in the East behind, again, Carolina and Pittsburgh, who surprisingly, I mean, they're only a point behind us in the standings right now. They have a very star-studded team, but goaltending has been sinking them a bit, but not as bad as you might be thinking. But they have been playing fairly well overall. I would actually expect them to be fighting for a wild card spot all year long as well. What's that mean for us? Well, it means even with the, and I'm going to get a bit more into this later, high quality chances we do tend to give up. On the whole, we are creating a lot more going the other way. And with that being said, what about high danger chances for? Well, we're 8th in the league in that category as well. Again, only behind Florida and Pittsburgh, beating out Carolina in this category. And we are 1st in scoring chances for. So that means we're 8th in high danger, but that means we put up a lot of medium and low. We actually, I believe, put up the most medium danger chances in the league. That is mostly because of Jack Hughes. Timo Meyer, same thing. They kind of are fairly volume shooters that put up a lot of medium danger chances and then just score their goals off of that. So then they're not true snipers that are putting up high danger and scoring at a super high rate. They're not low danger guys that are just putting pucks on net and really not actually getting a lot of generation from that. We're kind of a medium danger chance type team, but again, 8th in high danger as well, as we create a lot of that with our passing and high skill type game. So that's 5 statistical categories that we are at worst 8th, at best 1st in the entire league, and then at worst 3rd in the East. And basically every statistical offensive, and I mean, a lot of these take defense into it as well, category across the board. Okay, Jake, so we're playing so well. We don't play, you don't play hockey on a spreadsheet. Why are we not playing so great? Well, I'm sure a lot of us would, be able to point this out without having to look at the numbers. Well, we had the 5th worst shooting percentage in the league at 6.65%. The only team in the East with a worse shooting percentage is the Islanders. And I would say that they very easily, not even arguably, have a lot worse offensive talent on their team than we do. But obviously, just holistic 6.65, 5th worst in the league. Okay, but what's that actually mean? Well, the Canucks are shooting at 12.75% right now on an absolute torrid type pace, almost doubling our shooting percentage. And the mean in the league, so right dead center, is 8.52. So we're about just under 2 percentage points below that. Meaning, over a full season, if we are shooting on average or towards the mean, like the entire league, we'd be shooting 2% better. You're talking many, many more goals actually in the net. We are setting up the right plays. We are either getting goalied a little bit, which kind of happened a couple times, especially in that Capitals game with Lindgren, or we're just getting slightly unlucky. It's nothing too crazy, but you would expect, given the scoring talent on this team and just NHL history as a whole, that number should go up as the season continues to progress. We also know the other category that we are heavy struggling in, and that's going to be we are 4th worst in the league in save percentage at 0.8935, under 900. We know how it's been. VTech has had that last start on those 2 shots completely tanked the save percentage even more. Akira is actually finally above expected goals, or saves above expected. He finally is in a positive stance. I would love to see a lot more Akira Schmid starts. Please give us some more Schmid starts. I would really like to give this kid a little bit of a run like we gave to VTech and see if he can string multiple starts like that together. Now, comparatively, Bruins are top of the league at 0.9497, basically a 0.95 save percentage with all of their goaltending already this far into the season. Oh boy. I mean, that's why their record is what it is. They were not named at all as any team that is dominating the ice 5-on-5 like we are. It's because their goaltending is really just keeping them in it every game at that insane save percentage. The mean is 0.9125. So we are, 0.02 basically behind that. So if we get slightly better goaltending, get to the mean, get average goaltending, preferably, hopefully, a lot more from Schmid and VTech figures it out as the season continues to move on, we would be in a much better spot standings-wise. And not that we're in an awful spot, but, definitely a little bit below where a lot of us thought we would be by season's end. I talked about this previously. You should expect a bit of a slower start. I expect us to ramp up as the season goes on. This schedule is not helping, but also just a lot of new guys getting used to a new system and the defensive play. We know that's where the struggles have been. The other part that's really wrecking us, and this is what I kind of alluded to earlier, we had the third worst high danger save percentage in the league. So we're not giving up a lot of lower medium danger chances. We do give up high danger chances. The thing is we generate a lot of them too. Hence why we're 8th in the league by high danger share. But we do give up a lot of them. And the problem is other teams are getting a lot better saves against our high danger ones, and we're not getting it. So when we get those few, Luke falling in the neutral zone, Brendan Smith doing the same exact thing. It's Marino getting burned a little bit. Those type of plays, when we're giving up the odd man rushes going the other way that lead to the high danger chances, we're not getting the saves. Other teams are just getting more of those saves, even if they aren't putting as many up against the other team, and that's where you get the actual on-ice differences. So, very long-winded here, but the point of all of this is to say, we have the 4th worst PDO, the luck stat in the league, which is basically just save percentage and shooting percentage. When you look at the actual on-ice numbers and eye test with the play, which I am very big on, I try to always go by my eye test and supplement that with the analytics. And these aren't even crazy stats. It's literally just shot share, really. That we're looking at a team that is playing well as far as a 5-on-5 unit goes. We know how the power play's been, and the penalty kill could be better, but it's not horrendous. Definitely could be better. It is the goaltending and the actual shooting that is what is probably has us a game or two behind where we should be at. If I had to predict our record, I would have us probably at one more win. I really think we only have one more loss than I would have us at this point in the season, and that's nothing to be upset about. So, all that being said, if we keep up this pace of play, I even think we're going to improve. I really don't think we have been firing it all on cylinders at all. Obviously, with Jack and Nico back, that is going to help a ton. We are fully healthy. Colin Miller hopefully can step in and be the guy he has always been in his career and not what he kind of looked like in the preseason with us. And we should get much better results, especially with Timo now heating up without Jack to carry a lot of the weight there. Jack coming back and just being Jack. I would expect maybe a slightly slow start is kind of what he's been like every time he's returned from injury. He ramped up a little bit, but we'll see how it goes this time. And hopefully Brett finds his pace back as well when he gets his centers back to kind of insulate him a little bit from being the guy that gets all the defensive eyes put on him. So that's really it. For a lot of you, this probably isn't news. I'm going to assume at this point a lot of my steady viewers agree with a lot of my takes here, but this hopefully will give you a lot of talking points to bring to the office or in your chat groups with other Devils fans that we're playing pretty well. We're a little bit unlucky. If we can actually get some goaltending and a little bit more puck luck, please, I want you to recall a single lucky goal that we've had this season, and then try and think of how many unlucky ones we've had against. Those generally tend to even out over a full season. So, with that in mind, that's the Devil season so far. We're not even that 20-game spot in yet, and I probably won't do another one of these episodes until we are past that point. So, it's going to do it for today's episode, start of the work week. Let's get into it. We finally get some Devils games after another break. Yikes. Going into tomorrow, 8 o'clock start, not ideal, but is what it is. So I'll do a preview of the Jets. I'll see, hopefully we get some good news between today and tomorrow with some injuries. And I will let you guys know what to keep an eye out for tomorrow's game and where we will be able to take advantage and where they might be able to take advantage of us. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning as always, and forever. Let's go.